Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another installment of Scott's Selections here for Monday, September 16th. Before we get into my thoughts on today's card, we'll quickly recap what happened yesterday. Unfortunately, the losing streak will continue as we ended up picking up a loss with Alvin Kamara over 55.5 receiving yards. He had 15 receiving yards in the first quarter, and then Drew Brees ended up getting injured, and he's currently going to be out for about 6 months, as he or 6 weeks, I should say, as he ended up absolutely destroying his thumb. Bridgewater came in, didn't really have a full grasp of the offense, in my opinion, and Kamara was completely phased out of the offense as he barely touched the ball. So we pick up a loss there. I still like the play. As a whole, the Rams did a good job of covering him, but I still believe that if Brees was able to play the entire game, I think he probably would have gone over his posted total. Either or, though, apologies over the recent losing streak. Those of you who have been following me for a while know that I'm a relatively streaky bettor, where we'll win 5 in a row, we'll lose 3 in a row, and it'll balance itself out. So I'm not really worried about that. But in terms of today's card, I know that everyone wants me to have a play on the Browns and the Jets game. However, for me, I'm personally going to pass on the game entirely. My initial lean is to go with Cleveland Browns minus 6.5, as well as the under 45.5. Because of the fact that the Jets will be missing star quarterback Sam Darnold. They're also going to be missing C.J. Mosley, who's their best linebacker, as well as Quinnen Williams, who was their first-round pick this past year. So it makes sense why a lot of money's coming on Cleveland. However, I really didn't like how Cleveland played week 1. I know Tennessee's a much better team than the Jets, but 7 is a little bit much to lay on the road. 6.5 is better, but Cleveland also missed an extra point in week 1, so one missed extra point, you could end up losing that one. Spread opened up at 2.5, it's up to 6.5. Do I think it should be that high? I think it makes sense, especially with the way Cleveland played week 1. They're going to look to make a statement. With the Jets, you have Trevor Siemian at quarterback, who hasn't started since he was with the Broncos. Do I think he's a good quarterback? No. Did I think Darnold was that great in week 1? No. I think Gase is going to do what he normally does. I don't think the game plan is going to change that much. He's going to look to dump it off a lot, couple of screen passes, dump-off passes to Le'Veon Bell, try to keep the clock running, try to keep it a lower-scoring game. So I like the under personally. But in terms of my play of the day, I'm actually not going to have one. I know some of you have complained about lean days in the past, as you are not the biggest fan. But I really don't like anything on the card, and I'm not going to force a pick just to potentially break a losing streak here. I'll be patient with it. I'll try to find a play that I like value on. And as of right now, I don't really see anything in the Cleveland and Jets game because of the fact that I haven't really seen the Jets play with their first unit with Siemian. I know in the preseason, Siemian played a little bit and he looked decent, but that was against backups. And now he's facing a Cleveland defense that got torched by Marcus Mariota and people in week 1 and also committed about 18 penalties. So I'm a little bit concerned with Cleveland's lack of discipline. Do I think it'll matter in the long run? No, they should beat the Jets. But as a whole, do I really want to be laying 6.5 with a penalty-prone team that has a questionable offensive line? Not really. So for me, I'm personally going to pass. But if you ask me what my leans are, it would be on Cleveland minus 6.5, and it would be on the under 45.5. In terms of baseball, really limited card today. Lean to the Rockies on the money line, actually, against the Mets. Sanztel has been terrible, but he was decent his last start, and the Mets did just lose on Sunday night to the Dodgers. So now they have to travel immediately following a night game. They probably landed in Colorado at roughly 5 in the morning. I question how well their body will turn over to the altitude. I think they'll get tired, and I will lean to the Rockies as a huge money line underdog there because I think there is some value on that one. Moving forward, looking at the rest of the card, lean to the under between the Nationals and the Cardinals with Strasburg versus Hudson. Hudson's been pretty solid lately. He's been good at home, and the Cardinals continue to pitch extremely well, with the exception of yesterday's game against the Brewers, where they were winning and ended up giving up a grand slam to Ryan Braun in the 9th inning. Strasburg, on the other hand, is a borderline NL Cy Young candidate. Do I think he's going to win the award? No, but he has been great the entire season. And I think this total's a bit too high, so I will lean to the under 8.5, which is available at Heritage at minus 110. But in terms of the football game, which everyone wants to talk about, lean to the Browns and the Jets, so no play of the day. Now, before we conclude today's video, quick reminder of our sponsor, PointsBet, Online Sportsbook in New Jersey. A couple of great deals for you. Up to 2 risk-free bets up to $1,000. So if you end up betting on any sports, like baseball, football, or if you even want to bet on preseason hockey, which officially starts today, then you are able to do so. Other than that, though, that's going to do for this installment of Scott Selections here for Monday, September 16th. We will be back with another play of the day tomorrow, so apologies if you were looking forward to one today, but I really didn't like the card. Other than that, though, that's going to do for this installment of Scott Selections, and good luck to all of you on your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.